When the night falls and the winds get loud, and I can't see past the weight of the clouds, I remember who holds every tear. I take a breath and live without fear. Been through trials, fire and pain, but his promise cuts through the rain. I don't need to have all the control. I got peace that anchors my soul. I won't break, I won't run. My battle's already been won. He's my light, always near. That's how I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide. He's the strength I keep inside. Storm may come, I persevere. 'Cause I live, yeah, I live without fear. People talk, they throw their stones, but grace reminds me I'm not alone. I don't need to prove a thing. I'm walking with the King of Kings. This world shakes and tries to shake me, but I stand firm, faith won't break me. Every shadow's got to disappear. When God is close, I live without fear. I won't break, I won't run. My battle's already been won. He's my light, always near. That's how I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide. He's the strength I keep inside. Storm may come, I persevere. 'Cause I live, yeah, I live without fear. It's not about being perfect. It's about trusting the one who is. Even in the valley, he's still God. I won't break, I won't run. My battle's already been won. He's my guide, always near. That's why I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide. He's the truth I hold inside. Let the world know I'm still here, standing strong, living without fear. Faith over fear, always.
And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and praise God. Praise God indeed. Thank you to all of you, all who may tune in, may join me today. My wish, my hope for you, may your heart find smiles, your days, not just today, but may all of your days reveal blessings to you. See, and hopefully some of the words I share today will help you to see and to discover the blessings that are hidden right around you. They're everywhere. Maybe you already know them. If you're tuning in with me, maybe you've already raised your vibes and you're feeling pretty good about life. Praise God. We're in the right place at the right time. And if you're not one of those who's found that high energy vibration to live by, it's about time to start. See, Jack, today, this is something I did consider starting with. Thank you to all of you who do tune in and you're part of this. I'm not a character, okay? I'm not pretending to be something or someone I'm not. I'm Jack Talcott. That's my real name. It's on the paperwork I've had all my life and registered under that name. It's my title. That's really who I am. And I'm really an open guy, and I'm really very honest. And I'm really pretty fun to be around. But I'm really sick of people's shit, too. So today I'm a little bit serious. I do hope to still have fun, but entertaining nonsense and characters and doubts, and I don't believe that's in my best interest or yours, okay? So today I'm feeling a little bit stronger. I've already eliminated a couple clowns from the chat, and I will happily continue cleaning out the clutter. so that we can actually have some healthy dialogues together about real, serious things. Because the topic today, clarity of mind and expanded awareness, you start thinking about what I'm saying, and if it applies to you and it's helpful to you, it could transform your life. And expanded awareness, we're going to get into that a little bit more and talk about how we are initially, right? How we are designed to be. The world is not as it seems. Neither are you. But I sure try to present and be that which I seem. I try to be honest, authentic, right? And that's what the world is looking for. So we'll jump through the thumbnail, and in the background today, the message underlying with Chats with Jack, with the Live Without Fear, is delight in the Lord, for sure. And I'm quoting myself again, but it's something that I felt was pretty solid. If you stop and think about this for yourself, you might see what I'm saying. And if you see what I'm saying and you can feel it feels right, well, then you've got clarity in your mind. And that's where it all starts. See, your clouded mind, anyone whose mind is clouded, filled with bitterness and anger and reactions, all these triggers, right? The darkness hasn't been mastered. And I'm part of this. I'm working on growing on me. I practice what I preach. You know, I'm not a hypocrite, unlike what people want to paint me out to be. Let's stop complaining, Jack. Praise God. The quote, your resentment hides your guilt and shame. See, when we're angry and bitter and judgmental and filled with blame, there's something more behind us. And we're actually just really delaying the inevitable. Guilt and shame. Nobody wants to hear guilt and shame. Yeah, you know that, Neutral Ground? I caught snippets. That's part of the reason I'm back to no more nonsense. I don't care what these clowns want to say. The people want to talk trash about me, want to bet against me. Keep going. I'm done with it. Seriously. If people can't get on board with bringing peace to the world, seeking a better relationship with God, seeking a better life for themselves, if people can't get on board with that, please just unsubscribe, go find another channel, okay? Because this is who I'm here for. I'm for those who have open minds and want a better world, okay? Because I'll do anything to create a better world for myself and others. It's the only way to live. It's something I've learned that's just simple and obvious, and I'm trying to get your mind to accept that too. Your resentment hides your guilt and shame. If you're blaming someone, stop. Stop blaming, period. Even if it's you. Okay? Stop blaming. Accept that you participated in an experience, right? If you're blaming someone or something, you're judging it, you're remembering it. It's a part of an experience that you obviously had. So accept that you participated in an experience. And seek to know within yourself, what do I need to understand? What do I need to know about that experience, about that individual in order to move forward? Because it's your life. And if you're not moving forward, you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant, well, your value is going down. Those of us that become stagnant, we start our process of decay a little bit, and you kind of lose sight of the life you're living. I've made that mistake in the past, and I will never make it again. As long as, well, I pray to never make that mistake again. It's all in God's hands. Praise God. To simplify life for myself, it's taught by many, many other people. And this idea was inspired by discussions. I think our friend Dominic shared a link in yesterday's live stream in the comments. He likes to share other people's YouTube links in my comments. And I checked one out, and he was talking about awareness. and it was a good discussion on awareness. I thought I'd try and share my perspectives on awareness and the idea of expanding awareness. It is so simple and so obvious. It is a true mystery that we do not individually and collectively understand this already. Okay? This tells me that there's mysterious powers with God. And if you can accept that God is with you, then that likely means there's mysterious powers with you too. I trust there's mysterious powers with me because somehow, some way, I have found a way to keep going. And not just keep going when the world said, "No, Jack, we don't want you anymore." I didn't just keep going. I grew in my joy. I grew in my happiness and my peace in my heart. And the way I did that, whether you believe me or not, I'm telling you the truth. The way I did that is what I'm trying to explain on my videos here. And sometimes I run 2-3 hours, and that's an overkill. Because what I'm saying, it would probably be best if I did like 5 to 10-minute videos for the simple mind to receive a simple practice, a simple observation, so that the simple mind doesn't get over confused. And I'm not pointing at any of you listening to me as though you have a simple mind. But every one of our minds are simple. There's simple patterns within the minds of each of us. And once you start finding your own patterns, your own thoughts, then you start figuring things out for yourself. It's really as simple as that. But my theory is, it's all through and by God's grace alone. I never knew what that meant. I never knew what grace really was in my past. But that's been part of my story, and I've spoken about this, I think, a year or so ago, 2 years ago. It became apparent to me through what I was learning in my experience that grace was something that I needed to grow. I couldn't find a lot of grace in the world, it seemed. And yet at the same time, it was only through compassion and grace, patience, and support that I've been able to continue. And not just my own, though, through grace and patience and compassion of others and support of others. That's how we all make it through life. But we experience a lot in life. There's no separation between what we experience and what we become. Okay, because we are the experience that's happening. So let's try and bring us into the topic today, and let's see. And again, yesterday I was criticized because I get frustrated with people who don't seem to want to understand me. They want me to take their doubts. Yesterday, the case was presented that since I get frustrated with those people, that I'm not qualified to teach. If you align with them, that's fine. Just, I guess, sit back and laugh at what you hear. But if you can get over your opinions that despite my flaws and despite the rumors about me, that you can pick through what's heard, you can figure out what's true, what's not. Well, if you can figure out what's true or what's not from me, then just please pay attention. See what you think. Because if you see what you think about what the world is revealing, right, you're paying attention to the thoughts, to observe the thoughts, to see what is emerging. What I'm hoping to help the world do, and I'm not alone, there's many people hoping to help the world raise their consciousness, right? So that they're not just in this egoic battle against the world and against everyone else. It seems to be what I've attracted for myself as well. And so I've been trying to figure this out. There's a lot of us who have found somehow I'm not, it wasn't, I didn't make this choice intentionally. I didn't know this is what I was setting out to do. Hank, God bless you, man. Thank you, my friend. Continuing your contributions. You are a very generous man, Hank. Thank you. Bidding battle for peace. I don't know. I'm really torn. Let me get back to the topic rather than me and my paradox, my own lessons. I am with many others. Somehow, some way, I found myself on this path, growing and focused on developing my own inner spirit of being, growing in my loving and true nature. That has been my honest to God goal. I envision myself a man who was under more self-control, that I could put up with people yelling at me and insulting me. And I think I'm getting pretty good with that part. It's the interruptions and the arguments that I'm still struggling with. But when people choose to open their minds, God's wisdom will flow. That was my personal experience when God allowed me to set my thoughts aside and be still. I started gaining different perspectives. I started growing in my own clarity, my own mind's clarity through the practice of meditation, through the practice of intentional meditation, intentional prayer, intentional silence, intentional awareness. What are you intending to do? Right? Without clarity of the mind, we go through the day out of habit. Wake up, remember the old schedule, remember the old arguments, remember the old routines, remember the old characters and memories and religions and diagnoses and traumas. We wake up and remember, and then we forget. We forget that every day is brand new, man. It's brand new. It ain't never been done before. We don't know what today's going to bring. I only know what I set out to do. Okay? I move forward with faith in hopes of achieving my heart's desire. You can do the same thing. If you learn how to trust yourself, and the way I learned how to trust myself, it took me a long time, but these words are serious. I gave myself to God. I had to convince myself that I no longer matter. This Jack Talcott character I made up, I became in my mind, this guy in this body really doesn't matter unless goodness is coming through me. See, if goodness is coming through me, then it matters that I am here. Because I can make a difference with goodness. But if all I'm doing is bringing badness or sadness or darkness, or just moping around, sharing my bitterness and my problems and my anger, if that's all I'm doing, it's time for those patterns to die, not you. I know many people are kind of facing some things these days. And if you are one of those, I don't know who tunes in, right? But if you are one of those who's facing some dark times, the dark night of the soul, so to say, it's real. I don't know. It's pointing at something that's real. I went through this period of darkness and social isolation, separated from finances, from love, from relationships and the people I loved. I was separated from everything I thought was important to me. And so then, without those things I thought were important to me, why am I here? That was the question I had to ask myself. Why am I here if I'm not in the minds of others? Why am I here if I'm ignored? The key to expanding your awareness: see what you are overlooking. It's really as simple as that. See what you have been ignoring and be honest with yourself. If you've been ignoring opportunities for forgiveness, reconciliation with another human being who either harmed you or you harmed, if you're ignoring those opportunities while you live, you're missing out on changing the lives of two people, right? Because two lives change when there's battles and conflicts, and when relationships end and there's separation. Two lives change, and that change can ripple. And if that change is filled with darkness and bitterness, guess what's walking away with darkness and bitterness? But after the separation and after the pain and after the judgment, when mercy is found, when mercy is found, compassion is its sister. Mercy and compassion go together, man. So with compassion and mercy, you can end your battle, end your attachment to your trauma, and your attachment to your resentment, your blame, your guilt, your shame, whatever you're attached to. Set it down. Ask your heart to lead you. Show me and lead me. What are the steps I can take? I may not want to take, but what are the steps I can take to relieve this burden from myself? If it's forgiveness that's required, it will not be lifted until you find that forgiveness, okay? Forgiveness is the key to letting go of the past. We live in a world where unforgiveness has been enabled, where people actually go out of their way to punish, to seek revenge, to vindicate and avenge. It's a bunch of foolishness. Let me get back to the topic, because what I hope to offer, I truly believe that if I can present the right words to the right person at the right time, it's happening. Everything I'm offering, whether it's completely in there or not, those who are tuning in, you're receiving what I'm offering, okay, in the subconscious, even if you're not paying direct attention. But if you pay direct attention and you allow your mind to comprehend and kind of play around with these ideas, once you experience something, it is not unseen. It is not unexperienced. All it is remembered. Gosh. My pause there is because I don't want to overcomplicate, but there's so many small subtleties that I've been noticing in myself regarding the concept of awareness. Okay. The video I watched earlier, it was a beautiful reminder of who you are. It's really easy in this world of material and form, particularly with the real physical desires and impulses and reactions and all of this stuff. We're made to survive, and to survive, you got to be a bit selfish. But God ain't worried about survival. And if you align with God, you ain't got to worry about survival. You got to worry about living. And if you're going to live, you get to choose how you want to be. Okay, so I started thinking about how I was being. Not what I was doing as much as what I was being. Because what I was being inside, my energies, my energetic quality, the quality of me and the energies, it would be found through the words, through my actions, but it's the energies that matter, right? So I spent a lot of time asking myself, what do I want to be? And how do I want to be? And from everything I've studied, What I hope to be is a modern day follower, disciple of Jesus as me, an ordinary man who found this immense love of God, faith that has me convinced that given the chance, well, I want to try and change this whole world. And I can't reach what I can't reach. I can't influence what is not aware of me. Back into the topic, right? Awareness. If it's not in your awareness, it's not in your experience. Is it? If it's not in your mind or memory, you've never heard of it before, it's really not in your experience. So the key I found is to figure out within me, who am I? Every one of us, we started out as this beautiful treasure, helpless, innocent, just gorgeous, shining, divine light, a little infant. Every one of us started that way. And who knows what we were aware of back then, but at some point we grow into these children and we're aware of mommy and daddy and start learning about things around us. And as we're children, we think like children and we become attached to things and routines like children. But as we grow, we need, our minds change. We grow in awareness. We learn more things about the world. And as we increase our awareness, we learn more things about the world. And maybe we start letting go of some of the childish things. And then we all go through these progressions of life. First is the infant and the child, and then the teen and the young, healthy 20-year-old, whatever. Not everyone's healthy, but praise God. Who we are is not the body, not the thoughts, not even the memories. We are the awareness of those things. Who you really are, you're not the thinker of your thoughts, you're the observer of your thoughts. You're not your body. You're the observer of the experience your body has. Okay? And if you start realizing the separation between you, the awareness of who you really are, which is only in the present moment, it is only in this moment, right here and now, wherever you are and all the time that you are, it's only in the present moment that we get to observe our thoughts, our feelings, or the outer world, right? So you get to choose what is important to you. I made a lot of poor choices in my past, and I'm honest about my mistakes because I'm an honest man. Despite the rumors and reputations, I know who I am. I am the awareness of this man named Jack. I am the awareness of this biological form of man and Jack, right, that is experiencing time from this perspective, just like you. You are the awareness of your experience. And so if you unite yourself with your awareness, right, and your experience, because whatever you focus your mind to, that becomes your experience. If you attach if you're focusing your mind on bitter memories, painful thoughts of the past, guess what you feel? You feel that bitterness and the anger. You feel what you experience, and your mind directs and leads your experience until you give yourself permission. You request support from the angels, the ancestors, from your highest spirit, from the Heavenly Father. You ask and you seek and you say, help me, please. Help me still my mind. If you can't do it on your own, the responsible thing to do is to ask for help. And in this world where, especially in America, everyone's conditioned for independence, gotta do everything yourself, people are actually afraid to ask for help. I did that long time. I used to be afraid of asking for help. Now I'm not, but I need a lot less than I used to. Isn't that something? Okay, so the awareness. To gain a clarity of mind, consider that. It is literally not only, well, initially I would suggest clarity of mind is the absence of thought. It's the stillness. Because without thinking, you sit with what you know. Because what you know doesn't have to be remembered. It's recalled, right? The spirit brings it up, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of truth. You walk with a clear mind and an open heart. And these are my explanations. Other people have explained it similarly, but this is what I truly, truly believe. We are the living truth. We are on the same timeline as Jesus, right? We are on this timeline of history. We are the living truth of today. Are you living a lie, or are you living authentically? And how do you think you know? How do you think you know if you're living authentically, or if you're living a lie? What are the facts for you? Hey, Margot and Chuck, praise God. Praise God indeed. They stay true to themselves and their words, do they not? No open mind at all. Hey, I'll open it up here in a little bit. I'm actually feeling less fired up than when I started out. I hope some of these ideas are coming across, but serious questions. Your life, your future, your destiny, your entire life. You will either create your life or destroy your life based upon your ways of thinking. Okay, so if you don't figure out your proper ways of thinking, the way we have been designed, brothers and sisters, if you don't turn to God, you will lead yourself into pain and suffering until you turn to God. Does that make sense? You have the free will of choice. No one is forcing you, okay? No one is forcing you to think about God or love or wisdom or anything like that. Nobody's forcing you. Okay, but if you don't think about God, if you don't think about wisdom and truth and facts over opinions, if you don't think about love, if all you're looking at is what you don't like in another, if you can't see any good, you are in the wrong. If you deny that there is any good in something or someone, your judgment is flawed. For you and I, we will never, ever experience anything that is beyond our Creator. And I believe that means we will never be beyond the will of our Creator. And so what I've been trying to figure out is, what does that mean? How do I know what the Creator wills for me, if that's true? How do you know what you're here to do? How do you know when to do what you think you're here to do? How do you know? I suggest you pay attention within. And what I've been doing sincerely, I used to live by plans, but think about what a plan really is. A plan is, and it's a purpose of organization it's a process of organization. A plan is a process of organization for the purposes of executing future achievements, right? It's good to have an order. It's good to have a plan. But what is a plan? It's actually an idea. I used to get attached to ideas. I was real attached to plans. But when plans changed, I wasn't real comfortable with walking without a plan. So I had to learn. And I've been blessed. I think I do a pretty decent job. I pay attention and I learn as I go. I hope you do the same thing. Pay attention so that you can learn as you go, so that you can make little adjustments and improvements on yourself and maybe the way you live, because we're here to learn from each other. But back to the idea of a plan. A plan is really just an idea. And see, I used to get real attached to ideas because I thought I, the man, was the thinker. And so these thoughts and plans, they were a part of me. I mean, I came up with those. I created those. That's part of me. And so if the plans were rejected or not good enough, oh man, I was mean to me. I made myself sad and angry and cried and yelled, and I did all sorts of things when things didn't go my way. Who am I to say what my way is? I've never lived today before, not that I remember. So if I don't really know what I'm doing or where I'm going, how can I claim to have my way for the future? I can only adapt, adjust, and do the best I can. That's all that you can do too. You can adapt, adjust, and do the best you can. But if you're stuck in memories and you're looping in old arguments, number one, you're not doing the best you can. And number two, you're preventing yourself from doing greater. This is what I recognized in myself. All my time spent angry and worried about budgets. That was all wasted time in my life. And I had to finally accept accountability for how I'd been spending my time and my life. But is it really mine? I mean, it was given to me, but I guess I'm just borrowing this life from the universe. I'm experiencing it temporarily because eventually I'll be gone. And then people stop remembering me. And then I fade away. I mean, at least the memory of me fades away, but where I'll be, I don't know. All I know is where I am right now. Because right now is the perfect start of the future. So are you living a lie? And if so, ask yourself, where am I? Where am I living a lie? That might be a more open-ended question for your spirit to reveal. But the lie is where we deny. We will say, no, I'm not going to consider that. I'm not going to hear that. This is the foolishness of America. Children are taught, right, this illusion of authority and experts. Children are taught, people are conditioned. You only listen to these people. Don't listen to those people. No, that's stupid. Every person is a messenger. Now, they don't always communicate accurately. They don't always communicate truthfully. However, if you look at life for what it is, every new moment is new information being revealed. I don't know if that's coming through, but we got a big thunderstorm here right now. Hey, and thank you. Hit the like button. Support the show. Abe Dinkus, is Jesus the way, the truth, and the life? He exemplified it perfectly. Showed us exactly how to be. Take his word seriously and you'll know that he is the way, the truth, and the life, but it's not according to the doctrine of the churches. It's according to the truth of God's love. Okay? So, what my own testimony and if I'm right, if somehow, some way God does allow peace to be found and somehow clown like me gets to play a part, Well, guess what the story is going to be is this clown chose to follow the way of Christ, Jesus, right? To live as he lived to glorify the Father. I seek to live to glorify Jesus. I live to be in his name. If I can offer a blessing to others, that's what I remind them. This is from our God, right? Because I follow Jesus. And if I can help you, this is from God, not me. Will you receive blessings when blessings are offered? Yeah, and this is something I've been battling with neutral ground. People's assumption that they can treat you poorly and still have a permanent place in your life does not make sense. It does not. And yet, faith in God tells me that that I may be on a path where I am not to continue defending myself, but to receive that which the world offers to me. For that is what Jesus did. He didn't necessarily fight back. He did evade when things got heated. When he found himself surrounded by the unreasonable, he chose to exit. I do that on some of the crazy panel streams. But I'm learning things that are different. Austin Murphy, I'm glad you're here, man. You said a comment a couple of days ago at the end of the live stream. I really, dude, you and I should probably talk. If you're willing to open your mind, you'll find different ideas, and you might find different. Because the comment you said the other day, wars and secrets will always exist. Always exist, possibly somewhere. That's what God wants. Well, unless he told you that, let's not make assumptions. Okay, because my theory is that wars and secrets will not always exist. For our God does not want secrets and lies. I believe our God wants the truth to be celebrated and realized. Thus, kind of my notes for today, trying to help people realize some truth. What I believe is that God creates the universe, time, opportunity for life to grow and develop. And then it's with life and the development of life the whole time. But God is so powerful and mysterious. He allows like the illusion perhaps, but we have a say. We get to direct and influence the direction of our lives. We don't choose the results. We don't choose if we make it to the destination, but we choose our direction, and we choose our efforts, and we choose a lot of things. Brothers and sisters, your life becomes more simple when you start selecting the choices you make. And you start selecting the choices you make with confidence and clarity because you've paused and you've given some thought to the consequences, to the sourcing, what brought this choice into being, what are going to be some of the potential results or potential consequences of this future choice. What am I going to do with this after this, right? Thinking about past, present, future, having clarity in many different perspectives on what you're doing, you find that you can make fewer choices. You can expend less energy because you're making fewer mistakes. You're less reactive. You're more intentional with what you're doing, but it's all an inner practice. Okay? Just like everything in life, though, once we start practicing something, it gets easier and easier and easier. I've been working on my anger. I've been working on my triggers. It's not always easy to know exactly what to do, especially when you're getting confronted and you're not being allowed to be you. But every one of us faces these things. right? I'm just doing it kind of publicly, and I'm not alone in doing it publicly. A lot of us are getting confronted and challenged, but the real messages I want to bring across: clarity of mind, expanded awareness, how you are designed to be. You are designed to be, as I believe the words are confirmed, right? I believe that you and I, we are designed to be perfect reflections of the Most High. You and I are designed to be perfect reflections of the Most High. And we already perfectly reflect our past. We perfectly reflect who we have become. The reflection of us is seen, right, through others. Others see what we project out into the world, but it's like this. We are in an experiential matrix of design, right? The matrix being this simulated structure. I mean, it's simulated, but it's real. There's a structure and an order to this life experience. It's perfect. It's mathematical. It's quantifiable, and yet at the same time, it's so mysterious and infinite. It's inexplainable. Life, the mystery of life. It is for the purpose of you discovering the mysteries. If you think you know it all, you might be wrong. And I get accused of coming across as a know-it-all, and I realize that. It's part of the challenge I faced is I don't have, I'm not on a stage. People aren't paying money to see me. It's not like I have a credibility and stuff. So people see themselves in me. But when I speak, I come across kind of rude sometimes too, and I sound like I'm talking down to people. I don't intend that. I am trying to change up my tone and my I'm trying to be more aware of my cadence and my tone, how I'm presenting myself, because I don't want to be I'm not talking down. I'm really not. I have a confidence in myself though. And that confidence in not in myself, but what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I'm trying to express, I have such confidence in the value of that. I guess I feel a bit strong. I don't know. What was I thinking? Are you a living lie? Are you living a lie? If you're constantly focused on what you're thinking, you may be living in a fantasy. It's really a simple symptom, but it's up to you. You are the only one who can see what's actually in your mind. You're the only one who can feel what's in your heart, besides the spirit of you, of course. Because the spirit of you that's greater than you, it sees your mind and your heart far beyond your confusion or far beyond any limits or wounds. The spirit of us, the Holy Spirit that's you, that's really you, which is the awareness of your beingness, that awareness of being, that is the holy, divine spirit of life that's breathing you. I'm feeling. It feels good to be still, to be alive, feel the life within me and that breath. You can feel the energy of life if you feel the breath you breathe. and you don't notice those subtle little joys within yourself if all your mind is focusing on is your feelings. Right? Your bitter, sad, angry feelings. And actually, if you're like me, you may not even be focused on your feelings, right? You're focused on the cause of your feelings, which is someone else, somewhere else, something else, some other time. That's insane. Making yourself feel bad because you're lost in your mind. We have a world where people are lost in their minds because modern academics haven't properly understood the consequences and the reality of psychological trauma, emotional trauma, right? It's been a slow development in, at least in American history, it's been a slow development in the awareness of a lot of different aspects of the mind. A lot of different aspects of spirituality are also coming to the forefront at this age that we are living. So that's why I want to offer the very, very simple key. Very, very simple key to expand your awareness. That is the key to your increasing your value, expanding your awareness. Check in with yourself. What am I ignoring? What is the limit to my knowledge? What do I not know about what I'm facing, what I'm considering? What do I not know about this person or group of people that I'm judging? What do I not know? Because if you don't ask yourself what you don't know, you're going to keep looping on what you think you know. And if you're just running around constantly thinking thoughts and believing the thoughts just because they show up in your head, you'll drive yourself insane and you'll be a real pain for others around you. I'm pretty sure this is what's going on with many of the guests who have been clicking the links with me. But what I hope to do for anyone who is going to join today, I'm going to start doing a better job of maintaining order and trying to keep myself included in the conversations. So to grow in your mind, to grow in your awareness, to expand your mind, simply become curious. You have the choice to believe what you want. Ask yourself, why do I want to believe? If you've got a thought and an idea and a belief and it's gloom and doom and it's horrible and it's sad and it's bitter and it hurts, why do you want to believe that? Why do you want to spend time on that belief? It's these are the things I noticed in myself, right? It's up to each of us. We must realize who we are. If you don't pause and seek to know thyself, you will never discover the reality of the world you are experiencing, because you'll be lost in the drama. And the world is just this drama. It's this unfolding drama. It's kind of an exciting story. History, it's friggin' amazing. Mankind is so cool. There's so many crazy people. They do so many insane and wild and funny things. People are amazing. So the world is filled with this entertaining drama and it's romance and it's wars and it's combat and it's exciting, right? It can be. And it can also be a real painful tragedy. People don't wake up, start paying attention to what the hell they're doing and what others around them are doing. It's time to realize who you are is nothing more than the present experience of you. You're a breath away from being done, right? Me too. The breath goes and the electrical signals fade in the brain, and then poof, old Jackie boy's gone away. I mean, I'm not looking for that, but I'm wondering what's on the other side, because I am curious. I've been studying this world and the world we live in, and I got a decent concept in my head about history and the way things work in the world, the laws of creation and the orders of exchange and all this stuff. But I'm really, really curious. I'm excited to find out what is the view on the other side of space and time. What is the view going to be when my perception is not limited by this human mind, man? Because I can't imagine really big things. I'm kind of limited in what I can think. I mean, I've said this before. I've considered this thought that our imaginations and our minds are limited based upon what we've learned. Now, it's from what we've learned that we stand in our mind and we press out into the darkness, seeking more, seeking further. But you must have somewhere to begin and somewhere to go. Otherwise, you're just in the dark. Which reminds me of another thought I had earlier today that I thought about sharing. The idea of being lost and confused. There's words in the Bible that speak to Jesus coming for the lost. Well, I suggest the lost are confused. And if you think those thoughts together, right? If you're confused, it means you don't know. You're lacking an answer. You're lacking clarity. You're kind of overwhelmed by options and details and whatever. That's where the confusion comes in. And when you're confused, you're lost from answers. Okay, so if you're confused, you are lost. And if you're lost, well, you don't know where you are. Maybe you know where you are, you have an idea where you are, but you don't know where you're going. You're lost. I don't know. You're lost. But how do you test yourself to verify that you know what you think you know? Verification is working on for myself right now. I love that question, Hank. And this is a tricky one for me to answer because what I started practicing was feeling, sensing my feelings. Okay? How do I test myself to verify that you know what you think you know? Number one, I humble myself. I think I know. It feels like I know. But I must be willing to be wrong. And then if it's really relevant, then I will seek out confirmation and verification, but I'll do so wisely. I won't look just to confirm what I want to think. I'll try to make sure that I'm honest with myself. And I try to confirm that what I know is what I know. But along these lines as well, it was pointed out by someone else, I think. While we may seek around for answers from others, in the end, we decide. We each decide when we've learned enough to think we know. We each decide when we stop asking questions, when we stop pursuing more details, when we settle and accept, okay, I can accept this as a fact, and I can accept it as a fact that I've confirmed and one that I may know. It's the underlying part to this, though, is number one, relevance. How important is it for me to verify this? Am I even able to verify? That's kind of things I was asking myself. So the main things for that is ask yourself, why do I think I know this, right? What are the facts that give me confidence or doubts, right? There's so many ways and so many paths, and every single one of us is so unique. And the uniqueness are by subtle distinctions, very small sometimes and very big other times. But in the end, all we really are is the awareness of being. So be aware of what you are being. I could probably wrap it. See, I told you in the beginning, I probably could have just done like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm kind of just bouncing. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'll drop the link for a few moments. We will see what today brings. Love to Kentucky as well. Thank you, David Wayne, and thank you to all who are a part of this. What happened? There I am. Sorry, doing the admin thing, trying to figure this out. Um, hey, wonderful. Greetings and blessings to you, Moose. Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you too, Jack.
It's
Great to
been
see
a
you.
while.
I missed the first hour. I'm not even going to pretend like I was here. I walked in the room and you said you were going to drop the link, and I said, you know what? Maybe this is time to say thank you, Jack. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for what you do for yourself and the people around you. I feel like you inspire a lot of us, even the ones that fight against you. I think that is, there's a lot of what you preach that is just simple that people don't want to admit. Treating others with kindness and treating them with respect and stuff. It's really simple. You know, we could try to ego our way out of it, but I mean, honestly, we could be funny, we could be assholes, we could be all kinds of things, but just being respectful is not hard.
No. And yet, the flip side of it is. It is hard to be respectful when you're pissed off. It is hard to be respectful when someone has betrayed you, right?
That's
But
true. When somebody has done something to get your feelings or actually hurt you or something, it's really hard to get over that.
it, with practice, though, everything gets easier. And this is what I've realized, Moose. I had to look at the patterns. I kept getting betrayed. I kept getting rejected. I kept getting my feelings hurt. People can reject me. I don't. I mean, they're free to do that. Why do I want to keep letting my feelings get hurt? I don't. So I figured, and this is what I realized too. I've seen it in different ways. I just haven't achieved it in my ability to communicate with others. What I'm pointing at is I found with patterns, right? When we do have a trigger, when we do have a weakness, when we do have a habit, it appears hard, and it is hard, but once you face it and once you overcome it, you feel better, and you never have to face it again. I mean, if you do face it again, it's not a big deal. You've been through it before, you're over it. Next, right?
Yep.
So I've been learning there's patterns in life. I know I'm not the only one. But in my path, I've lived a life that's different than most, and yet it is very ordinary, very same to
You
the
you
truth.
walk the walk, Jack. Your thing is live without fear, and you've literally you've given everything up, and you've traveled across the entire United States uh, on a hope and a prayer. And I have no clue how you got there. I'm not gonna ask you for details. I'm just gonna know that you trust the Lord and you have faith and you believe what you're telling everyone, and it has gotten you this far. And so, by God, if it's gotten you this far and you're happy with it, continue on your path. I mean, I support you in whatever, and I I basically just came up to say thank you again because you inspired me in a lot of ways, and I took everything personal for so long, and now I'm starting to understand the way you treat people. You continue to let them back into your life, and you don't really take it personal. You realize that it's just a pattern of behavior, and so you're able to kind of disassociate the feeling from it. And so I'm getting better at that too, and that's what I'm watching from you. I appreciate it.
Much love. Thank you, Nose. And it is. It's great to see you. Sending love to you and your family as well. I trust all are doing good. And here, we'll welcome back, Stephen. How are you today?
Hello, hello. I'm doing fantastic. I'm in the present moment. You mentioned earlier I was tuned in. Jack was talking about the present moment. And I think living in the present moment is one of these simple keys. Moose said, keep it simple, or Jack makes it simple. Keep it simple. Live in the present moment. Just tune in and listen to what's said. And I'm having a great day. How are you today, Jack? And how are you, Moose? It's nothing personal. Um, whatever I've said about Moose's avatar in the past, whatever. I might
It's
have
all
made some jokes with the avatar in the past, but
it's all good, man. I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a great day, and like,
yeah,
I don't take it personal anymore, man. I enjoy the
I
ride.
never did. I never did, but I just had a big steak and I'm still hungry. But uh,
Please don't interrupt people, Stephen, as I
I'm
interrupt
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry, Jack. I'm
We're a
sorry.
band of fits, I'll tell
Well,
you.
I'm a Canadian. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I thought Moose was saying something, but
Moose, were you saying?
maybe I was just looking out for issues with you. I
Yeah,
wonder.
you tend to do that, Jack. You're always looking for a reason. I don't know why.
I
I've been a
do.
very good.
I
Oh,
do know.
why? Why?
It's because of how you disrespect me when you're not being fake with me.
Being fake. I'm not being fake. I'm being very genuine here.
Okay, so then you're lying when you're away from me?
No, I just make comedy. I do an entertainment channel. That's all.
Right. At my expense, and you don't respect me. And you come here and you pretend like you do, but everyone sees you disrespecting me, and then they see me allowing you here, and you don't recognize anything wrong. You're playing me for a fool, and you talk about me like I'm a fool when you're away from here. But I'm
No, Jack.
tired of looking through you. Okay. Matter of fact, Stephen, I honestly almost emailed you last night with a request. Please don't return here for a few days. Okay.
Do you
Because
have my email address?
I believe I do. But
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, please. I think it's in my best interest for you to stay away from me for a few days. Despite what the value you've brought here, I still deal with interruptions. You're still not actually helping me move forward in my goals. So,
I'm here to help, Jack. I really am. But the videos that I made about you were recorded a while ago. I didn't go live last night. We had a great show.
Stephen, the one I commented on was just from a few days ago.
And it was recorded days before then. So we had some issues on your show back then. But
Stephen,
yeah,
why should I care? It has
I don't
been
know.
done and it has not been taken away, has it?
No, Jack, it's still
Right.
there.
So go clean up your disrespect for me, Stephen, and then maybe when you return, I won't be looking for your flaws. But Stephen, you don't seem to want to offer me what I want. Well, that's not necessarily true because that is part of the manipulator. You do come on and pretend to offer me what you think I want. And you probably come closer than most. But
Hey,
that's
maybe,
it.
Jack,
Go ahead.
be a dick, but let's choose love, brother. With this one, we know this pattern. I think what it is if he might have even intended on you doing this monologue after, so that way he can make fun of it. So like, I
Yeah.
say choose love, and like, what if
Actually,
you?
no, please
Go ahead.
finish.
I
Please
was.
finish.
What have you been up to like the past couple days? Because I know you did the march in DC, and I only got to talk to you for a few minutes after that. Like, are you planning on doing anything like bigger or anything with these people again?
I've talked about it, Moose, but it's a continuing pattern I have been facing since 2018. I offer myself, I introduce myself, I knock on doors, and I wait. I wait for anyone to return my calls, to check in, to see what I can do. But without others, I keep doing me. So I've reached out to the Don Lemon, to the Ginger Guy, to a whole bunch of other creators and officials, and I'm still doing those things, but I've not heard anything back. So my disappointment has been real, Moose, over the past couple of days.
Damn.
And maybe that's why I'm so tired of being disrespected.
I feel you, Jack. I pretty much quit my job yesterday. Like I told them I quit 3 times. They didn't take me seriously. Uh, I'm over it too. Like it
You have
might
a job?
be fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting. I thought you were finished at that point. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm a bum, Steven. I'm sorry. I mooch off of
Well,
everybody else, and
okay. Well,
I
most are on YouTube, so I didn't know. That's all. I don't
I,
know Moose.
I get EBT and food stamps and all that. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna try to make fun of people like that because it's not my place. Uh, no, I have a job. I have a good.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't make fun of the poor. It's not right to look down on people. I'm learning from Jack on this show. I didn't realize that 3 years ago, but I've been making progress in the last 3 years, trying my best to make some changes. I don't look down on the poor anymore. When I used to come on here, I used to call them pissants and peasants. I haven't been doing that anymore. I made that change. That's true. True story.
What the fuck is a pissant?
It's a tiny ant that you could step on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
how much do you weigh, Moose? Are you like 130 pounds or something?
yeah, around there, 135.
Okay. Well, that would be a pissant, like under the old definition. The old me, I would have called you a pissant, but the new me doesn't. I don't do that anymore. I don't
Un-
indulge in that shit.
Understood. Yeah, I'm short and I'm thin. I get it.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, thanks for bringing me back on, Jack. I was paying attention. I really like your message about the present moment. That's what I was trying to key in on. Not the past, but living in the present moment. I think it's helpful to get beyond disagreements, anger, all that kind of stuff, bitterness. It's great. Great message.
Stephen, I agree. But I didn't go into details earlier before dropping the link, but this has been part of the dilemma I've been struggling with, not just today, but the past quite a while. If I follow Jesus, if I have faith in God, then I should be able to accept whatever God brings to me. But as a man of the world who gives a shit about what I do and the quality that I share with people, I care about the quality that's coming through here. And while I know people tune in for entertainment and chaos content, that is not me. So, is it me if that's what life continues to bring to me? And while I've been, I think it came up earlier, the idea of asking for help. I've been asking for people to help me since 2018. And people have done what they wanted to do, but not what I wanted them to do. And so this kind of gets me back into a bigger picture, wondering about God. And maybe it's a message that I should try and share, and maybe I'll just offer it. How often do you, whoever you might be, how often do you ask God, what would you like for me to do? How often do you ask the people you love?
Jack, I'm joking. Sorry. I I'm really sorry to interrupt that, but Jack, I your expectations of other people are high, man. People are selfish creatures. They're egoic. They follow the way of the Dark Lord. They're greedy. They're not. You know what I mean? Like You're expecting people in 2025 to like do work for you that you want done, and businesses can't even get people to work for them.
Hey, Moose, you're falsely representing me. Because where I was going is, if you think about people who you love, a lot of times you do things that you know who you love, you do things for them that they want. They don't even need to ask you. You do it because you appreciate them. You give of you to someone else. That's what we're here to do with everyone. We're here to be blessings to one another.
Amen.
So,
That's why
well,
I'm here today, to say thanks to you, Jack. That's the only reason I came. I started. You could restart the
I
stream.
know,
Thanks.
I know, I know, I got it. Thank you. But you said it correct. The world is filled with selfish people. That is why there are billionaires and homelessness, because people are selfish. Hello. The only way there's a billionaire is because everybody else gives them their money, right? Willingly earning them profits, willingly paying them, making their profits, giving our money to the billionaires. We are living in a world that's insane because of selfishness, Moose. I will no longer, what I am literally saying we do, brothers and sisters, is we unite together to maybe create some interventions, ideally with those in the United States government, because they are insane. Billions and trillions of dollars, this international banking scheme. It is a sick game that rewards selfishness. These signs are so simple and so obvious. It blows my mind that we've been denying the obvious. So, Moose, what I'm confident is happening in 2025, I'm not around a lot of people who talk like me, right? Higher consciousness and spirituality. I'm not around a lot of those, which I would shine if I was surrounded by people talking like that. But I'm not alone. We
Jack,
are.
sorry,
No, please.
I didn't. I was just going to say, do you think that you embrace such people and such talks of spirituality, or do you think sometimes you might, without consciously pushing them away? Because sometimes people come on with they're open to these talks, and then there's like anger presented or offered, and then it just kind of goes downhill and spirals, and the stream goes off track. And at times I've tried to get it back on track when I've been here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is selfish egos, right? They don't want to explore what I'm saying. They want me to sit and listen to what they're saying. But if I'm going to sit and listen, I'll go tune into someone else's stream. I'll shut mine down. I mean, what's the point of me sitting here while other people are talking about it, especially when it's not related to the topic that I'm discussing? Steve, what I've seen people doing, I called it out yesterday and the day before. People are bringing me their doubts. Okay? They're not exploring understanding. They're making the burden onto me to prove the truth without trying to understand it. And then there's others who just want to flat out disagree. They don't understand. They say they do. They don't give any evidence that they actually understand what I'm saying, and then they present some long-winded argument against me. That's what I've been seeing, Stephen. Sorry. Go ahead, please.
I realize what you've been seeing, and I'm not here to defend Moose, but I partially understand, I'll put it that way, not totally. I partially understand what Moose was saying, that people are full of doubts, and they are full of, they carry their past with them. So people are full of abuse, insecurity. People are full of doubts about who they are, the realm, how this life works. People are full of anger and jealousy and all kinds of shit. So human beings bring all of that here to your show, Jack. When they walk on the stage here, come on here, they have all of that inside of them, and they have addictions. There's been people here that are alcoholics and drug addicts. All that stuff is with them. So it's hard. Like I get what Moose was saying. It's hard to break through to people because they have all of that comes with them. That's baggage.
Stephen, you are correct. And this has been the frustrating part for me. I know that given the chance, I can help them. I can help them if they'll pause and put their shit aside long enough for us to talk about my ideas. I can help them. I know how to get past trauma. I know how to overcome addictions. I know what I've done. I know what other people have done that is proven, repeatable patterns for success. Okay? If people can't see the energy and the qualities of success that is with me, you're missing out. It means that you've been confused by all the lies and all the confusion about me. But I know who I am. I know what value I offer. I know what, yeah. Well, I believe I know what value I offer. I guess I'm often wrong. But I know what value I have gained. I keep saying I'm making the claim and I'm not bragging, but I wish someone would try to understand the depths of my words. God has blessed me. This life has blessed me. I have been blessed by what I have learned. Okay? What I've experienced has changed my life into a life where I believe we can change this world. I believe I found the kingdom of heaven. I believe that I'm following the way of Christ. I mean, what I don't understand is why so many people seem to want me to be wrong. The only thing I can come up with is jealousy and insecurity. But I understand that because that's part of this reality, part of the awakening. It's tied right to the Talcott quote from today. The world we live in is built on lies. When you recognize you have been participating in lies, you have to accept and process all the guilt and shame that goes with that. We got another guest here too, so welcome. Snoop.
Hi, Jack. Good. How are you? Can you hear me good?
Yes, you're loud.
Oh, that's good. Uh-oh.
Mike.
Is that better?
I'm turning you down just a touch, but welcome. How are you today? What's going on, my friend? It's been a while for you as well.
I'm good. It's been a while. Yeah. No, I just have some questions, but maybe we should look at your posts first. What were you going to share with everybody? Hi, you guys.
I was just pointing out that most people would rather believe in lies than process the guilt and shame that comes with being wrong, from accepting you're wrong. And if you watch the people who are every day, they keep waking up with these resentments against me and they want to battle me. They're wrong. They're wrong for battling a man like me who preaches and promotes love. I mean, the religious have wanted to condemn me because I don't follow their interpretations, but my path, I'm following the way of Jesus with the message of the love of God. My love for God is so real.
I totally believe that, that you believe that and that you live by that. So that's what definitely works for you in a very odd way. So that's awesome. I mean, not many people could live like that, Jack. You like don't have I mean, you basically battle everybody, every kind of group. You know, you're on your own path, that's for sure.
Yes. However, I do disagree. I think everyone
Of
can
course
live.
you do.
I think everyone
But I also
can.
want to ask you a question.
Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, yeah. Okay. So, you know, like you're saying, like, I know I can help people, right? You're a veteran. And there is so many vets that like really need mental health and they have PTSD and they're like severely suffering. And every time they go to, you know, check out their mental health or whatever, go get their medication, all they do is like shove pills down their throat and then, you know, say, here you go, here's some happy pills, go away. And then they'll up their doses or change their medication. They don't really help them out with mental health. Would you maybe volunteer your time, do what you say you could do, which is help change people's lives
Hey, Snow,
over there? Yeah,
I've tried. People didn't give me a
really.
chance. Yes. So I'm still
Hmm.
looking for anyone who wants to try and explore the wisdom. If you know of any vets,
Hmm.
any people who are
I mean,
suffering from trauma,
uh-huh.
send them my way personally. Give them my phone number. I'm willing to help, but yes, Snow,
I read so many
okay.
comments
All right.
on YouTube yesterday, like so many vets were complaining about the treatment that they get. I mean, how why don't you like self open to one of those kind of chats with these vets
Hey,
and maybe one
did,
on panel?
did you hear my answer? You didn't acknowledge my words. You went
Yes,
back
I
to
did because no, I was just wondering if you have like did that on YouTube or even in real life. And you
yes.
said you did it in real life, so I was just wondering if you've done it on YouTube. Next question
Snow,
is
Snow,
remember when I first met you?
Snow, I do.
Yeah.
And Snow, please, God bless
What?
you.
No, I really want.
You know how to reach me, Snow. Okay? I'm not sure where you're going. I know you're wanting to be supportive and helpful, but you don't know what's going on. Hank, welcome to you, brother. I'm going to give
Okay,
you just a moment and we'll come back. Um, Go ahead, Hank, please.
so
Welcome.
Jack, you remember we tried doing an intervention on me a couple weeks ago, and we had Dennis in here to do an autism translation, and we still didn't really get anywhere. You remember?
Okay. And so
But
what would
now
you
you're
like?
saying, no one wanted to try, so that's a false statement.
Okay. Thank you for that correction, Hank. Please forgive me for my misspeaking. Now, is there anything else you'd like to correct me on, Hank? Or anything you'd
Not
like
right,
to offer?
not right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I can bring Snow back, but I'd like to answer your question, if I may, because I did answer, but you didn't really pay attention. So I was going to elaborate, but then you took us back, Snow. In my path of studying psychology and doing my own inner work, I felt I had some skills and some abilities, some value to share. So in my meditation, and maybe it was inspired elsewhere, but the term moral injury struck my mind, and I was like, holy shit! Moral injury. Those two words describe our veterans' PTSD. Our veterans have seen and experienced and done things that defies the spirit of humanity. They suffer because they have unreconciled memories. I can help people find resolve in their memories if someone wants to change. But if someone wants to be right, I waste a lot of time explaining myself to deaf ears.
Indeed, I agree with you. Jack, I just have to say that I remember like we created packages and I like thought of like this whole entire idea, right? And I was like, I'll do this and that and this and that for you. And I was kind of excited because this is when I first met you. And I gave you the plan and then I asked you to do just a few things that you had to do. I couldn't do them. And then you told me that do them and
Hey,
that you couldn't do it. No, so I am asking because I gave you that. I gave you like just like a white.
you're not understanding, Snow. Please stop. Okay.
I'm just trying to understand what is going to
No,
happen.
you're not trying to understand. You're trying to tell
I really
me
am.
what you remember.
Okay.
Okay. And
So
if
what do you
you,
remember?
well, what I remember is before you left
Hmm.
Florida, we were talking and we had some
Hmm.
ideas of doing some things and maybe you actually supporting me with my goals. And then you moved to California, and then the next thing you were getting a job,
Well,
and
the
then you're
only thing
taking
that
a job, and
okay.
Snow, you never followed through. You say you're going to
No, I
do things,
didn't.
but
You're
you
right.
don't do them. And
Shame
now
on you.
you're
Okay, so
projecting it on.
remember what
Holy
we were
shit!
talking
You're
about though? Like,
projecting it onto me, Snow. That's
no, I'm
literally
just
what
trying to
you're
figure this
saying
out.
about me.
Okay.
She's not
Well, the whole
aware.
thing with the live without fear, what we were going to do with live without fear. Because you didn't have any idea, and I was trying to come up with a concept and how we were going to do that. And that was like a challenge for me. I just met you.
Yeah, and you
But
didn't
my only
bother to
thing is because you said
me.
your channel,
Snow.
you said you're gonna make your no one more
Mhm.
thing, and okay. You said you're gonna make your lives shorter, and you're gonna be like more to the point and less, I guess, drama. So what are you going to do? Like you obviously have a strategy, like you have a plan. So I'm just wondering, like, what's the goal? Like, so everybody can know your goal. Like,
If you don't know the goal, Snow, go back and review my monologues. Thank you for joining. Thank you for reminding me that you once offered me some support. Um, you can go figure it out on your own. The goal, the plan is to bring an end to wars and conflicts. Something Moose said a while ago. He didn't believe that people can be, you know, filled with love of God. But I am convinced what anyone can understand, another can understand. The only requirement to things is the willingness and the patience and, maybe the curiosity. So this is what got me so excited, is realizing that I was learning from others. I was learning things that were very complicated, but these people that knew the facts, knew the fields of expertise, neurosciences, psychology, spirituality, history. These experts took complex topics, provided substantial facts and evidence to support their explanations, and I was able to understand them, right? So if I can take these complex ideas that are within me and find a way to simply explain them. No, I don't have all the details, and no, I don't have all the facts, but in the end, you don't need the details. All you need is the concept and the trust. And with the concept and the goal that you want to know, the concept I encourage each of us to find the goal to have, expand your awareness. Ask yourself, what am I aware of? What am I unaware of? What is related to me, right? These mind games, that's the only way to win the battle that I found. And I don't like saying the only way because there's many ways. It's all by the grace of God. I am confident in that. So I encourage everybody, whatever religion you practice, whatever faith you may have or not found, I encourage you, play with your mind and your heart. You can find the word that works for you, because like God, again, it's pointing at a concept. It's pointing at the most high, the divine and absolute. If you the most high, the divine and absolute.
Echo.
You got,
Sorry,
I think you take care of. Welcome, Tarek. Welcome back to you. How are you?
Jack, good to see you. Steven, good to see you. Moose, good to see you.
Hey, Tarek. I just want to
Yeah,
comment on what Jack said, if I
go ahead.
could, for a minute. Jack, I think one of your strengths is making things simple for people. But you're taking. You said you talked about you take all this information and make it simple. I think that is one of your strengths, and I
Right.
think people should acknowledge that and look at that and say, he's taking all this information and making it simple for an audience to understand. But you can't force anybody to pay attention. And that's the thing. A lot of people come here. This is what I've noticed. I've been observing. They come here, not just the panelists, but people in the chat. Then they come on with issues, but they're not really listening to. They're focused on personality differences rather than on the message. That's what I notice. What do you guys think, Jack and Tarek and Moose?
Thank you,
I have to
Stephen.
agree.
And if you consider this idea too, we can see it. We can see the minds. What that is, the arguments, it's in our minds. Our heart has no battles. It really doesn't. A healthy heart has no limits on its compassion, on its love. My limits, well, there are limits. Golly geez. How do you know your limits if you're not aware of them? Consider that question. How do you know your limits if you're not aware of your limits? How do you know how much you can push? How do you know how far you can go? How do you know what is the limit of your knowledge? Unless you actually try and look. I found so much misery in my past comfort zone. It blows my mind that I lived that way. I lived the life of a wage slave, a well-paid monkey who did what he's told just so he could have a comfortable life and routine, enough money to go to the bar and have a few toys. I want to help others avoid those mistakes. A stagnant life sucks. Being stuck and living in the same, well, some people are on that path. They get that comfort. They don't want to leave where they're at. But me, I traveled all around ever since I was young. I am a wanderer. That's my life path. I know who I am. I'm a wanderer. I am a leader. People don't have to follow me. I'm going to lead me to where I want to be. And I actually think my path could be one of a healer as well, because that's what I've learned. And this is my theory, guys. Those of us who experience childhood trauma, those of us who escape and make it through the madness of addiction, guess what? We have wisdom that others don't. We've experienced pains and losses that some of the more comfortable lives have never witnessed, right? But even the most comfortable life is carrying around baggage and some sort of problem in them. But we are this generation. We have the answers available to us. We can create peace on earth. We can reform the education systems. We can reform the government systems, the economic systems, if we're willing to change our belief systems. I've changed my belief systems. I no longer believe in the American dream. I believe in the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus. I believe that that is the example that all of us are created to follow. And the simple answer out of that big, thick Bible, right? The simple answer out of this book, be good. Now, you cannot be good on your own design. God's design reveals the goodness. So align yourself with God's design. Now, this is where it gets tricky, okay, for the limited mind. What is God's design? How do I know God's design? All you can do is experience the moments. And the only moment that any of us can experience, it's fleeting, but it's always right here. Right here and now is the only moment that we get to feel or be or do anything. So align with God's plan for you, which is for you to be again today, with the freedom of mind, the freedom of heart, the ability to choose and to move. Every day is a new part of our adventure. And this tag there, banner, which world do you choose today? In the morning, ask yourself these questions, or whatever it takes. I don't know. Everyone's got their own routine. I know what works for me. And what I've learned, what I've incorporated into my own life, much of it, most of it was learned from others. I pay attention. And if people would pay attention to each other, guess what? We have fewer arguments. We have greater understandings. This is what I've been learning. Honestly, God wants us to listen. The truth wants us to listen. Those who love us want us to listen. Right?
Well said. Well said, Jack. And you know, the way that you said it, it's not just your tone, but you said it with confidence, but without anger. You came across very well with that speech there. And this is a sincere compliment. I know you have your doubts about me, but it is sincere. The way that you just expressed yourself there was very well done. And I agree with the message as well that you put forth.
Stephen, you've been a challenge for me, okay? And let me recognize, thank you, and Moose, thank you for speaking up for him too, okay? Because it was Moose's encouragement which really helped me. Because I was being honest, Stephen. It does make me look bad when you're here, but I've felt that you have been pretty genuine, and I do believe that you are. I believe much of what you say. I've been played
Absolutely.
a fool before, though.
But Jack, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't like most people. I'm not someone that likes everyone. And I'm here every day listening to your message, and I pay attention. You just mentioned paying attention.
You do.
I think that's one of the keys. And if you stumble, I always remember what you said a minute or two ago,
You do.
because I actually am listening. And there are people in the chat that are, and I'm not focused on the chat. I hardly ever look over at it, but they don't listen. They're not here to pay attention. They're just kind of rambling on their own in the chat. And I wish they would pay attention more.
I've noticed, and I agree. And admittedly, it's from the chat and it's from others that has gotten into my head and got me wanting to push you away. I'll admit that was part of the difference. And seeing what I saw, it didn't make me happy.
Don't let them influence you, though, Jack. I've made fun of Tarek. I was on OTW show one time doing my parody of Tarek when he speaks with his mouth full and he's eating and more. He's just like chopping away and going like the lip smacking, and he took it well. He took it as he was laughing during it. But I don't hate the guy just because they do that. I've made fun of Moose as well, I believe. and who knows? I mean, probably 100 people in the chat room here. So it's not just David Jack Talcott. You know, it's widespread. I mean, I have that wicked sense of humor, and I don't mean it personally. I don't mean this stuff personally. I made fun of Paulie as well, his ginger hair, and made memes of him as a gorilla and white gorilla and all this kind of stuff. But
Stephen, and that's where I had to recognize too. You're being true to you. This is what you've been, and you have fun. And I don't think you have ill intent, but some of the stuff you do have for the thinner skinned, it comes across as pretty cruel.
it's not malicious, though. It's not meant with malicious intent. It may come across as cruel, but I mean,
Well,
I get made fun of a lot too, and I just take it in stride. They can call me what they want. They can nickname me. It doesn't bother me. They can do whatever, but I'm just having fun. But I am learning when I'm here. Sorry, I want to rephrase that. I'm not just having fun. I'm having fun, but I'm also learning as I'm here. Otherwise, there's a million other channels to watch. I wouldn't tune in every day. If I didn't get something in terms of learning, I wouldn't be here paying attention.
Jack, if I may say something real quick, just in case you missed it. And I came a little late by seeing snow here. And at first, I was sad to see yesterday's Chuck and Margot. I thought Margot had peace with you. You know, Chuck still will be stuck on his loop no matter what. But you have to understand, Snow came here from Flow State. She's Flow State's main girl. Now, I believe she came here to try to make you look bad in some way because Flow State is struggling lately on his numbers. As you see, his channel has not had the same numbers. And that's a Flow State move, just to let you know, just in case you didn't see it.
And it's a Tarek move to bring your drama here.
No, I'm just bringing it up. I'm just saying my opinion. He doesn't have to listen to me. I'm just saying my opinion. That's all.
it's interesting. Sorry, you did carry this pattern. You do play that role of trying to be the one to inform others. But what you pointed out, I could see that. Whether it was conscious or not, perhaps it was feeling safe here, but also wanting to earn some brownie points for elsewhere, because a lot of people seem to people seem to have bonded over disrespecting Jack. So it's like I became a common enemy or a common topic for people to bond over. And then they get to feel good about themselves talking shit about someone who's online talking about God and trying to bring peace to the world, but people somehow feel better talking shit about a guy like me. Really blows my mind. But hey, this is a society God allowed us to create. And that was, I don't know if I made that comment clear, the point clear. There was a comment from a recent stream about God allows the wars and the secrets and lies. God allows life to unfold in whatever directions we kind of want, and the directions that we choose, whatever's allowed, that's what happens. So by collective design and agreement, we were born into a world that worships a money system, and false illusions of power have been given to a select few. We all know 1% has somehow taken acquisition and control of the majority of finances and property in the world. What are we doing? Selfishness is a disease. Love is the cure. Love is the answer. Selfish people are hurt people tend to be selfish because they're always looking out for them. Does that sound like the world we live in? I mean, we've got a world of people that are conditioned to live all on their own. And nobody wants to be on their own, so they find these small little groups, just like little rodents, little packs of rodents. We're scurrying around and doing what we're told and going where we feel safe. Maybe that was just me.
Well, no, that's actually an accurate analogy. Like packs of rodents, rats. In the past, I've called them hood rats and cockroaches, and I mean, I'm owning up to what I've called people. I've called them all sorts of things, but they do kind of scurry along and follow each other. So, is there something with the human condition where they want to follow the leader, where they want to follow the pack and the leader? What is that about humanity?
Safety. It's dangerous to lead. The leader's got, there's a risk involved with being in front and being in the lead. So people are afraid of that risk. They're not comfortable taking chances. But if you want to succeed in your life, you've got to become comfortable taking chances. I mean, what might seem like a huge risk for you is actually just real. Someone else is doing it every day, right? It's no big deal for someone who's been through it before, but
Yeah. But we're not all the same. We don't all have the same level of courage and bravery, right? Some people are just afraid and they just want to hang in the crowd, in the group, in the pack. And the old me would have said, well, there's people here that are afraid in the chat, and Snow might be afraid to let her hair go natural and not dye it blonde, and there might be somebody else, old Joe might be afraid or have fears, but everybody has certain fear. Almost everybody in this realm has certain fears they're clinging on to. There's not many that are living without fear in this realm, including, the ones tuned in the chat. I mean, I don't know, like Hank might be afraid not to wear one of his hats or to change his wardrobe, or, he'll wear red one day and then purple or whatever the next day, color coordinated. Old Joe seems to have a real issue with me. I don't know why he's afraid, but he's kind of showing fear. And I hope people here listen to Jack's message and hear it, not just with their ears, but with their spirit. Actually tune in, and as Jack said earlier, pay attention. This is key to learning. You can't learn if you're sitting in the classroom and you're not looking at the board and you're not listening to the teacher. Now, if Jack is teaching you a spiritual message here, if you don't pay attention, you're not going to get it. And people that come with all these arguments, they're going to miss the message. And it's the message that matters.
Regardless of the topic, any conversation, if we're not listening, we're kind of disrespecting the truth. We're disrespecting the speaker. We're disrespecting the moment. I've been trying to choose where I share my respect more, because some people, seriously, you're safer just to tune them out, especially when they're all filled with this bitterness and anger. It's black magic. The people who go around gaslighting, giving false narratives, wanting to control the narrative and the conversation, that's black magic. They've corrupted themselves with the dark idea, and they're trying to cast spells of darkness into me. I know what people are doing. They don't. But keeping yourself safe in a world filled of people that are just confused and angry, you got to have some faith in God, because not every battle is intended to be fought. Sometimes we've got to rise above the battles, rise above the pain, rise above the discomfort, put our shoulder into it, do whatever we got to do to get through the shit. But we don't have to fight everything.
Yes. Jack, are these people that are casting black magic spells and doing all this type of stuff, do you think they're redeemable? Like, do you think they could find God and redeem themselves? Or I know you're nodding your head, but some people would view it as, well, they're just lost causes. They're reprobates according to the Bible, and that we might as well euthanize them. There's a lot of that attitude as well. They're throwaways.
Yeah, that's the worldly ideas, the materialistic conditioning we've been subjected to. We view everyone and everything as things. Well, what are things? Things are to be bought, sold, used, thrown away. Some things are appreciated, but they got to have a real special value, and they got to be really important. So just a few things are important. Are there people that are completely too lost to help? Probably. But I'm going to let God figure that out. Anyone who comes into my path is an opportunity for me to learn or serve, usually a little of both. And so I pay attention. I see if I can learn something, but you can only learn from what's offered and shown. And if people just want to talk about sports or movies or politics or whatever, I get bored. That's why I'm doing this. And I actually do appreciate the fact that our conversations, while we get a little chaotic sometimes, we typically have some pretty, I feel, deep and important topics. We're coming up on 2. I think I'm ready to shut it down before that. Any quick final words from you?
Well, I don't know if Moose is still here. Moose, you're here. Do you want to go first, or?
Moose, you there? I'm going to drop him. Thank you for joining, Moose. It was great to see you, my friend. Sincerely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. I agree with what you just said. You said you cover some deep and important topics here. And what's frustrating even for me is people missing that message. You mean they could chat about some of this stuff anywhere, not just on the stage, in the chat as well. The whole group, like if they took it seriously, paid attention, they could learn something. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be. I've at times goofed around or whatever, but I still do pay attention. I still, even if I come on with a Black Jesus character with watermelons or whatever the case may be, I'm still paying attention, even in the role of playing a character. And it's nothing personal against Jack. I've done that all over YouTube with Jack, Black Jesus. It's not me coming here to target Jack or, it has nothing to do with Jack. It's more like me playing around, I like to play characters. But anyway, thank you for having me on, Jack. I do think that you do cover a lot of important topics on your show. And I give you credit for that because your show is different than a lot of these channels that I would call shallow or shit channels. They're really not interested in the spiritual. And I do believe that you are. So
Thank you.
I give you credit for that, Jack. I really do. Thanks for having me on, and God bless you. Take care.
I appreciate it sincerely. And Stephen, thank you. Right. And Moose, thank you. I was reminded, Jack, practice what you preach. It's another opportunity. And here, I am who I am. I make mistakes. Sometimes I snap at people. I get frustrated. Sometimes I don't explain myself clearly. And I accept responsibility for when that happens. I am working and seeking to become greater than I used to be. So this experience of life, it's all happening. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up real quick here at the end, the topic. And Tommy, I see you in the back. Had you not been insulting in the private chat, I might have given you a chance, but you clearly haven't found a way to find respect for me. So Tommy, as with Snow and others, you got questions for me. You've talked to me offline before. Why don't you prove you can have a conversation with me offline? I'll welcome you back as a friend and a guest. But until then, let's continue. Parting words, right? Clarity of mind and expanded awareness. How you are designed to be. You are designed to... You're designed to be you. Now, what does that mean to you? Who are you? What are you? The answers are here. You can find explanations and evidence, you can find reflections of you around you, but the answers, the true answers are going to come right here in the heart. Bring your mind to your heart, bring a smile to your heart as you feel your lungs expand and deflate, and you feel your breath and you feel the life. I'm getting goosebumps, man, just from the thoughts of life and energy and love and peace. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up here sincerely. Thank you again to all. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.